Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, I don't know what time you're watching this movie. My name is Sofie Vanderhasselt, I'm the culinary advisor for Debic for Belgium, but today I will be the culinary advisor for all of you. Obviously we are not in the possibility to have a real-time training, so that's why we are doing something in this video. It's my first time too, so pardon me already if some things go wrong during this meeting. The reason why we are doing this is because usually, and it's a tradition, when we are launching a new product with Debic, we always take the effort to train our sales colleagues, to train our trade colleagues, so everyone is well aware of the product and is able to sell it as well. So today I'm going to try to give you all the arguments, all the things that you need to be able to sell the product to your customer. And actually with the Cream Plus Mascarpone it's even a bigger thing, because we are not only launching a new product, we are also launching a new range. This is the first product, but there's more products to follow within this range. This range is actually going to be always a mix of cream with another firm dairy product. In this case, we're talking about mascarpone, but other mixes will follow. Something that all those mixes have in common is the fact that the firm dairy, which is going to be mixed with the cream, is always a product that is very difficult to mix. For example, with the mascarpone, you all know this brand, of course. And probably most of you also know that mascarpone is a very firm, very strong, solid product. I'm just going to show you. It's really like a thick, very rich thing. Just to show you, for example, if you would like to mix it with a nice cream, you can already see this. It's really difficult. You see that it does take some time and some effort, and this is only a small quantity, but it does take some time and effort to get it mixed, and especially to get it very homogeneous, to have it like one nice cream where there's no lumps, because you can already see right now it still has a lot of lumps. So when we were talking to chefs and pastry chefs, many of them acknowledged the fact that they like to use with mascarpone, but they find it difficult to work with it. Voilà, you can see it mixes, but still it is lumpy, there is grains in there, it's not a homogeneous product. As I said, many chefs like working with mascarpone because they really like the flavor, especially when you talk to horeca chefs, restaurant chefs, they choose to work with mascarpone because of the richness of the mascarpone. It really gives a lot of creaminess to a dish or to a dessert. While talking with pastry chefs, they also specifically choose for mascarpone to have extra firmness. When you add mascarpone to a cream, your cream has a better stand, is firmer, and of course pastry chefs really like that. But so as I said before, they don't like the fact of mixing the cream with mascarpone, and that's where we come in. That's where we came with a product that is a little bit more convenient. We take out one step of their process of mixing the cream with the mascarpone, and we come with a ready mix called Cream Plus Mascarpone. So this cream with mascarpone has a very pronounced mascarpone flavor, of course. There is 40% of mascarpone inside, so it's very rich, very indulgent, but on the other hand, there's only 37% ant fat. So it's a general average cream when it comes to the fat content, but the flavor is very rich, a very pleasant flavor. Another very important argument to use is that it's a very constant quality. We are used to using that argument, but it's the fact that when chefs would mix the mascarpone with the cream themselves, they wouldn't always get the same result, while with the Cream Plus Mascarpone, It's a standard quality, the whole year round it's the same quality. So Cream Plus Mascarpone is a very versatile product. It's quite unique in that way that it's a product that can be used both for HoReCa chefs but also for pastry chefs, and that's very nice, it's a product that can be used either savory or salt. It can be used hot and it can be used cold. So it's actually a cream that can be used in many applications, of which I'm going to show you a few right away. So the first application that I would like to show you is the dressings. The cold dressings, the ones that you can use with a salad or with a carpaccio, with a tartare, like a nice creamy dressing to add to fresh vegetables, crunchy stuff, to make it more indulgent, to make it richer. I'm going to make a dressing to serve with some salmon sashimi, but you could also use like a salmon tartare or like any other raw fish that's nice to have, with some creamy touch. Salmon is already very fat, but if you add some acid dressing to it, it becomes even more delicious. So what am I going to do here? I have some juice of tangerine. Just put it in here, together with some vinegar. This is just some apple vinegar, some cider vinegar. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. And also some zest of the tangerine. Of course, this could also be a lemon or a lime whenever tangerines are not in the season. And then I'm going to add the mascarpone, the cream plus mascarpone. Just mixing it a little bit. Right away, because of the acidity of the vinegar and of the juice of the tangerine, it will bind already a little bit. That's normal, that's always the case. Also, if you would do that with a 35% or 40% Debic cream, you will always see when you add acidity to it, it will become a little bit more thick. But that's just what we want. These days, when you look at the fine dining trends, what you see a lot when making sauces, cream sauces or dressings, is the ones that are not a homogeneous dressing. They look like there is a separation between the oil and the cream. Well, this is also the case with this dressing, because I've made a dill oil, so it's just adding fresh dill to sunflower oil. Let it blend for a long time, about 20 minutes in your blender, so the oil becomes hot, and then you pour it through a fine sieve and you will get a nice green oil. Mixing it with this dressing, which is nice, like a white color, it will never totally mix, it will always remain kind of like separate, but that's actually very nice and very attractive visually. As you can see, it will let it stand for a while, it will separate again. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. And then we can already plate this. So I just added some salmon sashimi. This one is just plain salmon, but of course it would be nice if you have like a graved lax or like a marinated salmon, makes it even nicer. I have marinated a little bit of fennel. I marinated in some mirin, like a rice wine. And I'm going to finish it with some dill. Voila. So that was a cold savory application. Of course, it's also possible to have hot applications. If you think of mascarpone, I think the first cuisine that you think about is the Italian cuisine. So of course, this cream plus mascarpone is a very nice partner to make those creamy, warm sauces to serve with pasta. Think of a tomato and mascarpone cream sauce, or even like a nice creamy sauce to serve with the ravioli with some mushrooms, could be nice. But also you could use this cream as a stuffing inside the ravioli to make like a nice stuffing to fill your pastas with. Applications are of course endless, it's up to the creativity of the chef, but keep in mind that this is not a cooking cream. This is not our culinary original. Of course, if a chef wants to have a cream that's very stable within all applications, that he can reheat again, then this might probably not be the best solution. So depending on which chef you have in front of you, you will need to check whether he takes a lot of attention to the richness, to the indulgence part, or is it more a chef who wants to be sure that his sauce is not going to split, that he has a high yield of the sauce, then maybe the culinary original is a better alternative. But it is possible to cook with this sauce, of course. Another application that I would like to show you right now is the adding flavor to this cream. Of course, it's a very rich cream on its own already, but if you want to add flavor to it, it becomes even more interesting. Very simple ideas is just adding sugar to the cream, which I'm going to show you later when I talk about the pastry applications. Or you could also add some vanilla to it and then whip it together, serve it with some strawberries. It's very nice. But what I'm going to show you today is a little bit more exotic, let's say. I'm going to make I already have marinated a pineapple. I'm going to show it to you. I already have it on the plate. I cut the pineapple in rectangular shapes and I marinated in a caramel. So I let caramelize some sugar. I added some brown rum, which is very tasty, and of course I added a few spices like lemongrass, some star anise, some cinnamon sticks, any kind of spices that you want to add to that caramel, to that marinade, together with the rum. Put your pineapples inside of it, put everything in a vacuum bag, seal it and let it stay overnight in the fridge, and you will have a pineapple that's nice brown color but has a very aromatic flavor, lots of spices in there. It's really tasty. And this also pairs very well with cream. So this is the marinade that I kept, of course, and I'm going to add it to the mascarpone, but first we're going to whip the mascarpone. Just like any other cream, when you whip it, of course the cream needs to be cold, everything needs to be clean, so it's just the things that we already know when we talk about whipping cream. You just add it to your machine, or you pour it into the machine. There you go. And then we always start, just as we do with all the creams, at a medium speed. So as soon as your cream is almost whipped, I'll add the marinade to it. It also takes a little bit of the brownish color of the marinade, so it goes really well. Also color-wise, it fits really well with the pineapple. Just set this at the side. I also cut a little bit of brunoise of the pineapple. It's just plain natural. I didn't add anything to it, just to give a total flavor experience, let's say. Then we just make a nice spoon of the mascarpone with the marinade of the pineapple. Finishing it off with some atsina crust. And then for some freshness, I'll just add some lime zest. And actually, I'm just thinking I don't have any anymore, but if you would have some marinade left over, it would be nice as well to drizzle some marinade on the side. But voila, here you go. Some nice dessert with some cream plus mascarpone. Whoever thinks of mascarpone in combination with a dessert mostly thinks of tiramisu, the most famous Italian dessert that has mascarpone as one of its main ingredients. Here again, for chefs who want to make their own mascarpone from scratch, we take one step out of their process because we already mixed the mascarpone with the cream for them. Right now I want to show you an easy way to make an à la minute mascarpone, à la minute tiramisu, sorry, where we're going to use the siphon bottle. Maybe just one side note, of course, don't forget that we also have a Debic ready-to-use tiramisu base. There's many differences in the combination of the product between the cream plus mascarpone and the tiramisu, Debic by Debic. Mostly I think that the big differences is that the Debic tiramisu has sugar inside of it, there's also some eggs inside, while this is really just the cream with the mascarpone. So up to the chef to choose whether he wants to use this product or the Debic tiramisu as a base to make his own tiramisu. But so now I'm going to show you a very easy way to make a tiramisu à la minute. It's more like an airy, foamy tiramisu, but it's a nice way to serve it and to have some more experience in the restaurant. What are we going to use? We need 750 milliliters of the cream plus mascarpone. Just pour it into a colander. To that we're going to add some extra typical tiramisu flavors. Like here I have a mix of sugar water, like a syrup, and marsala wine. Put it in there. And of course, when you think of tiramisu, you also think of a coffee. So I add a cold espresso, about 100 milliliters. And then we just pour it into the siphon bottle. This of course can all be done ahead of time for chefs to save some time. They can do it in a mise en place, have it ready in their fridge, even with the gas on the bottle already. To that we add 2 cartridges of gas. Just to make sure that all the gas and the liquid is well mixed. Well, now it's better. Put that aside. And of course, when you talk about tiramisu, you think about the lady fingers, the boudoir cookies. I've made a mixture of coffee liqueur and some amaretto. And then these cookies get soaked into the amaretto mixture. Only a few seconds. And then this is something that is done à la minute right before serving. You spray the cream plus mascarpone with its marsala and the coffee inside of it. You spray it on top of the boudoir cookies and then it needs to be served right away. Another nice idea would be to, for example, in a nice glass or a nice cup, you just spray this cream inside of the cup and you serve the cookies on the side, and it would be more like kind of like a dip that people would dip themselves with the cookie inside of the airy cream plus mascarpone. Cover it with the mascarpone cream and of course some finishing. with cocoa powder. Not too much, maybe even add some coffee crisp or a nice cookie to finish it. But here you go. Here is your cream with mascarpone out of the siphon bottle, so it's an à la minute application. So most of the applications that I've shown so far always focus on the Horeca. That's also because at Debic we decided to put the main focus on the Horeca chef. But of course this product is also very suitable for pastry chefs. Pastry chefs actually, when we talked to them, said that they like to use mascarpone a lot. So this is also a product that we designed with them in the back of our head. The reason why pastry chefs use mascarpone is mainly to add firmness, richness, creaminess to their cream, to their whipped cream, but also to their mousses or to other applications that they like to make with mascarpone cream. I'm going to give you some tips on how to whip the cream plus mascarpone. Actually, it's not many new tips because most of the things you know. You need to whip it exactly the way that we say we whip cream when it comes to a stand-and overrun or a cream 35% or whatever cream. Always keep in mind that the cream always had to be cold. It still needs to be cold. Your bowl, your whisk all need to be cold, and even if you add the sugar, make sure it's not too hot neither. We pour the cream into the whipping machine. We add the sugar. So there's a few things that I want to say before we start whipping. The cream plus mascarpone is a very firm cream. It's because of the mascarpone, it has a very good stand, very strong cream. On the other hand, this cream does not have the highest overrun if you compare them to all the other creams that we have. Just to give you an example, a stand and overrun has an overrun of about 160%. The cream plus mascarpone has an overrun of 100%. So it's, again, listening to your customer, hearing where they put their focus on. Are they talking a lot about yield, about trying to find good balance between the price of the cream and also the yield that they get out of it? Then maybe this cream is not the best solution. But on the other hand, this cream is very rich in flavor, very good stand. So for certain application or for certain pastry chefs, this could be a very nice solution. So again, it's as usual up to the chef to decide which cream to use. We just offer them a very high quality mix in this case. So back to the whipping machine. When we are going to whip it, we whip it exactly the way we whip all the other creams. So that means we start at medium speed and only the last few moments we're going to put it on high speed. So depending on the kind of application that the pastry chef wants to use this whipped cream for, he's going to whip it a little bit longer or a bit less long. Now I'm going to show you an application where I use the cream as a decoration, so not for a mousse, but purely put it into a piping bag and then use it as a decoration. Therefore, I don't want to over whip it too much, because even after putting it inside of a piping bag and then making a decoration, it will still become a little bit more firm. So this is the kind of texture that I believe is a great texture to put the decoration on the tartelette. So this is a tartelette with blueberries. It's also one of the applications that you can find in the recipe brochure that we've created. For this technique, which I will show you right away, I am not using a traditional spout, but this is actually like a cookie cutter, like a round shaped cookie cutter, which has a very wide opening. And with this application we can make really nice big blobs, and then soon I'll show you a technique to finish it. So the tartelette has some fresh blueberries on the side, and you just make one big blob. Then with a pomme parisienne spoon, you know, the little spoons to make little balls out of fruits and vegetables, keep it in hot water, and then you just push it into the bowl, so you make a nice little little bowl inside of the cream. And into that little opening that you have, then you can pour a little bit of a blueberry coulis, just like this. Voila. And then you have this very nice decoration to use with the Debic Cream Plus Mascarpone. So I have arrived at the end of my digital online demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. Most of all, I hope that you have found an answer to most of your questions on this beautiful new product. If there are, however, any questions, don't be shy, just contact me or one of my colleagues from the Culinary Advisor community, because I'm sure we can help you with any questions you have on this product or any other Debic products, of course. So then the only thing I would like to say is I wish you a lot of luck, good luck with the sales. I hope we can be very successful with this product. I really believe that this is a very nice product, and I'm sure we can convince many chefs and many pastry chefs out there to use this product. So good luck and see you soon. Bye bye.